So it's Sunday night. Today I just sort of I got some materials to do some stuff around here and kind of set it up a little better and keep on. I want to set it up so that it's easier to keep organized because I'm not very good at staying organized. I'm a bit of a mess. So I'm setting up like a pegboard and all this shit. I realized that my audio sucks and my camera angle sucks. A friend of mine actually sent me a link to help me with that. I got it on the way, a microphone and a like little like gimbal stand, so that I can have you guys over my shoulder while I'm picking and set it up on the workbench while I'm working on a bike, so I can bring you guys closer and see how it is. Till then, I'm not really gonna work on any bikes. I want to catalog this, and if I can't, record it and keep a catalog, then it's not really doing what I'm saying I'm gonna do. I hung up some lights and cleaned the bathroom and cleaned the workbench a little bit. I actually made the toilet shittable now. I'll show you what I did. I'll show you the materials. So I got a whole bunch of 2x4s. I got these fern strips here, which is going to set me up with this pegboard. And that pegboard is going to go across this back wall so that I can put pegs and hang tools off of it. Cleaned up the bathroom. It's actually shittable now. It was really, really fucking gross before. And I put up this track lighting. I was thinking it'd be pretty dope if I put those color changing LED bulbs in there. But now this place is like lit up. It's kind of a kick it spot. So if I put those LED bulbs that change colors in them, then that would be really sick. Like a little party pad, Put some music, I got Bluetooth speaker, and might even put like a system in here, like some big speakers. That'd be really fucking cool. Party it up. I got like pretty much brick walls. It's pretty soundproof, and I don't have any neighbors at night, at least. Not during like a regular business hour, so I can really be as loud as I want and kind of do whatever I want. That's the whole point of this. I can blast loud music, I can smoke cigarettes and drink beer, pick locks, work on bikes, just whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, I worked my ass off on Saturday, and Friday night I drank a little too much and was nursing a gnarly hangover. I wanted to record yesterday, it just didn't work out. I had just like the most fucking pounding headache. It was pretty brutal. Yeah, I worked like a fucking dog. Made good money though. Got a pretty good tip jar, and probably the most amount of tips I've ever made. So I think that's it's a good sign. It means I'm doing something right. I'm giving good service. I'm not very good at customer service, so that was reassuring. I was just kind of trying to be myself and tell people exactly how it is. And then I'll do some picking for you guys again tonight. Again, I'm not really going to work on any bikes until I get more of a better audio situation going on. I don't want to be out to screaming at you guys from across the workbench. I'm not really a loud person, so I gotta have some help with that. So actually I just pulled a whole bunch of these Medico M3 deadbolts off of a job. I haven't picked any of them yet. This particular one I did kind of stick a pick in it, and I probed around just to see how it felt, see if there was anything um, in there. But I didn't really pick any pins or or get it open. You know, the M3s are pretty special. You know, they're supposed to be, and this lock is supposed to be unpickable. I kind of want to put one, like this one's really cool, and I would use it because I have all the parts for it, the bolt, the housing, everything, but it's a restricted keyway, and I don't know what locksmith it came from, so it's pretty much useless. Uh, it's not really worth the brass it's stamped out of now. And I'll try to pick it open. I guess that's the only thing it's worth. It's worth my own amusement. Hopefully somebody else's. I have these covert instrument tension wrenches. Let's see, and they're really nice, but this lip is a little too narrow for the M3s. So I have these Sparrows, and you can see the lip is just a little bit thicker. The covert ones, they'll spin around on you. They don't actually grab this lock. The M3 keyway is really, really wide. These will just barely grab it. I'm going to start the back of the lock. It looks like number 6 is already binding. Or it might be a 6 cut. I think that's 2. Gotta click out of 2. Here's 1. Got a good click out of 1. It's still going. There's another click out of 1. With these like high tolerance locks, it's really nice. There's another click. I think that was like 3 or 4. These high tolerance locks, you get a lot of feedback through the tension wrench, and it feels really good. It feels really satisfying. I'm just sort of like pushing some pins around. With Medicos, I don't really ever like pick them in the traditional sense. I'm not really looking for binders. It's mostly about probing. With the M3s, every once in a while, I'll try to check that little check pin that's in the side of the keyway. And right now, actually, oddly enough, it is binding. So I just hit it, click, the core cocked a little more. These do have spool pins in them, so sometimes you gotta click that pin, find the spool pin, pick it. It'll drop a whole bunch of stuff. You gotta pick the lock over again. You just dropped a whole bunch of stuff, but I found the spool. There's 1 again. I remember that 1 went really high, so I'm gonna keep on pushing them. I think that's it. No, it wasn't. What do you know? That's got to be like a 1 cutter, the shallowest cut of this key can have. And again, I'm just sort of probing, bouncing through the pins. I'm going to check that check pin again. It is binding again. So now I got to find the next spool. Looks like it's pin number 2. I'm getting a little bit of feedback on it. There we go. Sometimes you get lucky and you accidentally pick through all the spools and stuff, and you just hit that check pin and the thing just pops up magically. With the M3, you don't really have to worry so much about rotation. The way these are designed, the pins want to rotate and they'll kind of follow the path of least resistance. So as you pick them and as you're moving around the lock, they will settle into their groove. Let's see if that thing's binding again. Nope. Let's see what's going on now. It is. No, it's not binding again. It really looks like pin number 1 is going to be kind of our key point. You guys can see this is a better camera angle, I think. I sort of have you guys lifted up on a box here and leaning against the safe dial. And again, I'm just sort of bouncing through. I'm just more probing than I am picking. Not quite sure what's holding this up. Sometimes you also kind of sort of have to like aimlessly kind of rotate the pins around just to get them to settle in a different way. And it makes the lock act differently. Oh, I just lost everything. Let's do it again then. There's number 6. And usually, like on a reset, I can kind of take some shortcuts, and because I already remember that 6 was either in a gate or binding, and now one's binding, and I can sort of lift one high without the fear of an overset because I already know that it wants to be really high. Let's see. Check that check pin. Nothing, and probe around some more. So that was that check pen again. Check the check pen again. This one's putting up a hell of a fight, I gotta say. Don't break my pick, bastard. Check that check pen again, nothing. Seems like I'm in round about the same spot I was before. So I think I'm gonna have to sort of pick a pin, which I think I just picked fourth pin, and brute forced it. I don't know if that was the correct decision. Oh no, that's fifth pin that I did. The first pin's really high. When the first pin is really high in the lock, kind of makes it difficult because it's right at the front. You don't have much to leverage off of. When it's all the way in the back, you can go like this, and the fulcrum's farther back, so less movement. When it's in the front, to get that same height, you got to go way steeper. I think that check pin is binding again. That's an open. Let me grab some tools, see if we can't get this open. So, that's open. This one put up a hell of a fight. I am impressed. I can't always pick open Medicos. Can't say I'm very good at it, but I can do it in a pinch, and I love to practice it. It is a 5/64, and I do not have. No, it is a 16th. Fuck yeah. So I'm gonna start with pin number 6. I don't know if this was master keyed. that had a mushroom pin in it. I'll show you all the pins once everything's apart. But basically with Medicos, you just take out these top set screws. It's not super common to remove the plug in like a rekeying situation, but I will do it in this case. And I'll show you the side bar and the slide bar, because the M3 has a slide bar as well. That was that special little check pin that I was hitting, and that aligns the sidebar so that you can start picking at the sidebar. But in my opinion, it's gimmicky. It's better, it's more of a security feature in terms of key control than it is for pick control. Let's see. That's my number one, was so tricky. Show you the drivers. So it did have a lot of spools in it. See, that's why number one was so tricky. I had a barrel pin, so I'd pick it into a false set, and then I'd pick it again, and then I'd pick it again. So basically, it was resting like right about, it's hard to control. It's resting like right about there, and then I'd pick it, and then I had to pick it again, and then I had to get it around that and pick it again. That's why it was acting so funky. That's why, like, the keystone pin, the one that was causing all the feedback and all the problems, all the difficulty. That's a nifty little pin. Let's see, how am I gonna do this? These screws are always tight as fuck. With Medeco, the bitting doesn't really matter. Like, you can have pretty extreme bitting, and it's not really going to affect your picking, because the pins are so large, and there really is no, on a 6-cut system, there really is no maximum adjacent cut. In this case, you can go straight from 1 to 6. So you don't really have to worry about, having a 9-2 like in a Schlage where you really got to reach around it. It is good to use a deep hook because you can hook the pin and rotate it. And using certain shapes, because of the shape of the key pins, how they have that sharp tip, it's easy for picks to slip off. So the tip of your pick and the profile of the tip is pretty important. But overall, you don't have to really reach around super hard to get at pins. They're sort of all just there. So what just dropped out was the half moons. They're just little bits of hardened steel. They go on the plug. Those guys. And it makes it damn near impossible to drill them. And they go where I was explaining where you drill, and see the little cutouts right there? Right there. And that little notch is where the sidebar engages. You can see where my pick and the key was sliding in and out as well, the wear. Let me just get the rest of this guy out. Take out the sidebar. Really don't want to come out, but you can see everything is aligned. All the little dashes, that allows the sidebar to drop in. Fucking thing really don't want to come out, does it? There it goes. I think I'll take the pins out first then. Doesn't look like it was master keyed, which is good. It's more of a flex on my part. Damn, this sidebar really don't want to come out, does it? So basically what's happening is see that right there? That's the slide bar in the keyway. That's the check pin I was pushing. When you push this down, it almost goes all the way in, but not quite. But if you were to slide this and then push it, it will go all the way. And this is a bad example because I can't see what the fuck I'm doing. But yeah, basically that just allows it to push all the way in like that. Yeah, it's hard. And how it does that. Nothing about this sidebar really wants to come out. Is that it has a couple of teeth, and then the sidebar might come out now a little easier. I'm gonna get you out. Hopefully without breaking it. Don't lose. So the sidebar has springs on it, just these little tiny bitty springs. So that hooks into the sidebar, to the two cutouts, and that allows it to push in, and then it can line up with the notches in the core. Once those fingers can line up with the notches in the core and push down, then it relies on the key pin. And the key pin has these bevels, and that's how they seat into the key, and they're able to rotate until it rotates onto that notch right there. Then this sidebar that's already been aligned with the slide bar, I know it's a mouthful, when you stick the key in, it'll slide that slide bar back, which will slide the whole sidebar back and allow it to go through the notches of the core. Once it's able to go through the notches of the core, it is still restricted by the key pin until the key pin is rotated in the correct orientation inside of the plug, and that notch can then slide into the key pin. Once the notch slides all the way into the key pin, then the core can rotate. On top of that, you still have to lift all the pins to the correct height. So usually you just sort of have to lift the pins to the correct height, and then because the sidebar is spring loaded, there's a little play in it, so it will kind of like cock over, like the core will like move over a little bit, then the sidebar is binded. That's when you can start rotating pins and fucking with it as if it was a Medeco. Until then, you pick it like a normal lock. Takes a little bit of practice. The first time I got into one, like I've been trying to pick them for like a long time. My biggest I'll set you guys up and keep on talking. My biggest roadblock was my own mentality towards it. Because I was like, oh, it's a Medeco. Especially I still am, but a novice locksmith. I didn't. All I've ever heard is that Medecos are unpickable. But I still had one. I mean, I pulled one off of a job, and it was just sort of sitting around. So I still had one, and it's in my collection. If it's in my collection, whether it's pickable or not, I'm still gonna try to pick it and fuck with it. So. I would noodle around on it every once in a while, but never with the mentality that I was going to open it. And then one day it just opened. Like I had been fucking with it for a few hours, but before that I'd been fucking with it for about a month, just like noodling around. But then this time the cork cocked over, and I realized like what I was doing, and I really started to think about it. So then within a couple of hours, I was actually able to figure out what my strategies were to pick it. And my strategies have changed and become more efficient over time. I've become quicker. Um, but yeah, my biggest roadblock was my mindset. I don't know why the fuck I picked this and got it tonight. I still gotta like pick and get like a regular lock for you guys to see, show you guys how a regular lock works before, and show you guys how like what a how a high security lock works. And I'm probably not explaining it super well, so it sounds like fucking gibberish, but they're pretty complicated. And as far as mechanical locks go, or just like regular pin tumbler locks go, they're pretty complicated. And they're a pain in the ass to put back together, so I'm not going to record that. But yeah, that was fun. That was my first time I picked that particular lock on camera. Honestly, I was kind of hoping to get a failure out of it, because it would be more of a learning process with you guys. But I need to pick something else then. I do have a couple of locks in here that I have never picked. Namely, it's not that good. This Acid Twin. No, not that. This Acid Twin. I need to get some dimple picks for it. I feel like if I were to get some dimple picks, like some flags, then I would be able to pick that sidebar. But the false gates on that thing are so deep, it'd be really hard to sort of get it to pick up and over. It's not like a spool where you can like force it to counter rotate. It's just gonna catch. I'm gonna have to manually counter rotate with tension wrench. And I was talking about it previously. I think about turning the pick and getting it to rotate, and instead of using the tension wrench. But in that case, I would have to use the tension wrench. So I'd have to get better at that and improve. Another one that would be good for nipple picks is this multi-lock. I do have another multi-lock. It's this one that I can get open, but that's kind of cheating because I don't think the bitting in that thing's very good. But this one, I can't even get any really good feedback. It keeps on trapping my picks, and like my regular picks, just they're not cut out for the job. Yeah. Now I'll start doing some safe dial stuff. I just got this safe dial right here. I gotta resize the spindle so the back plate will go on. I do have the key for it, for the spindle in a box somewhere. So once I get that resized, I do not know the combination. It just got pulled off of the job. So we'll go ahead and give that one a shot. I'm probably gonna fail. I don't have that much storage on my phone, so I can't really record for super long. Speaking of which, I'm getting a low storage warning right now. So I think I'll leave you guys at that and put this lock together and go home. I'll see you when I see you guys.